never had any trouble with the pregnancy. It was going along great. The weight was good. Everything was looking good. So we just went in for a normal checkup. When we got there, Dr. Wilson's like, "You're already dilating. I'm going to take you to labor and delivery." We had wanted to do just a natural delivery with both of them, and that kind of set things back too, because once Chloe was born, Keegan decided to flip, and it wasn't going as planned, and so we had to do an emergency C-section with her.
Things right then got pretty real.
So they rushed Chloe out of the room and had to hook her up to a thing over her head for oxygen because she was forgetting to breathe. Chloe was kind of out there by herself, and we were trying to get Keegan because her blood pressure was going up.
The twins were born about 7 weeks early at 33 weeks, and initially they just needed some help with breathing and some oxygen, and they had all the challenges that preemies have. They were under phototherapy for jaundice. They had some feeding problems. That was, I think, their biggest issue towards the end, and what kept them in the hospital close to 2 weeks was their lack of energy with feeding, and mom and dad learning how to feed them.
The Vapotherm for Chloe and Keegan, they saved them from being intubated and on a ventilator. They were able to respond well, and within a few days they were off the Vapotherm therapy.
It was probably about 8 hours before I got to see the girls, which was hard. So I got to see them through pictures, and that was hard because all you could see was them in the cylinders. And finally they wheeled me down there, and I got to see them, and that was just such a special moment. But I was scared to hold them because they were so tiny, and they had a lot of equipment hooked up to them because they would stop breathing. The little machines would go off, and so you would kind of be like, "Oh no, what's wrong?" you know. But the nurses there were always so helpful, and they're like, "Just tap on her foot, just get her, you know, she'll remember once you kind of startle her that she needs to breathe."
As they were weaned from the oxygen, weaned from the Vapotherm, they were transferred into an incubator that's called the giraffe incubator, and it's large enough for both babies to fit in, so they were able to have skin to skin and be side by side.
They just started progressing more and more every day, and I thought that was just really special to see. And even till this day, you can tell they just have a really special bond and a different language, and it's really cool to see. Every piece of equipment we used, all the nurses that were trained, Children's Miracle Network paid for that. And so getting to stay here in San Angelo because of that, we couldn't be more thankful.
Being able to come home, even with the minimal hours I was able to be home, going up to the hospital with Casey to feed the girls during their feeding times was awesome compared to knowing I'd come home to an empty house because everybody's in Dallas or Austin or San Antonio, wherever, and get that relationship going was really nice to have.
Because preterm babies require a higher level of care, sometimes if they were to need to be on, say, a ventilator, they would need to be transferred to another facility. But because of CMN and because of the equipment that they've been able to provide us, the Vapotherm and bubble CPAP, those are two options that we can now offer the babies before we intubate and hopefully avoid intubating altogether.
So Chloe and Keegan were eventually discharged from the hospital. They were there approximately 7 weeks. They graduated from the neonatal intermediate care nursery. They were what were called feeding real infants. They were gaining weight really well. Once they met that weight of approximately 4 pounds, 5 ounces, they were able to go home. I saw them on a routine basis for routine checkups. They've always met their developmental milestones, their normal weight catch-up. They were doing great, and now at approximately 13 months, they're thriving, doing well, and acting like and looking like and behaving like normal little mini toddlers.
I think every child's a miracle, but I think they're especially special. Just they were unplanned. God put them here for a reason, and everything that they've been through, it just makes you believe in miracles all over again. Please help support the Children's Miracle Network.
And help miracle kids like ours.